Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group H and we will present about community language learning. Okay, before it, I will introduction our member in Group H. First is me, Safni Nur Rahman, and second is Imam Mahfiro, and the last is Azhar Rohaliyah Dini. For the first, we will look at the outline in this presentation. First is introduction, and the second is method, and the third is result from method, and the fourth is advantage, five is disadvantage, and the last is conclusion. Okay, we will look at the next slide. In here we have introduction. I will explain about community language learning. Okay, community language learning or whole person learning means that the teachers consider not only their students' intellect, but they also have some understanding of the relationships among students' feelings, physical reactions, instinctive protective reactions, and desire to learn. Community language learning method takes its principles from the more general counseling learning approach developed by Charles A. Curran. Curran believed that a way to deal with the fears of students is for teachers to become language counselor. A language counselor doesn't mean someone trained in psychology. It means someone who is skillful understander of the struggle students face as they attempt to internalize another language. By understanding students' fears and being sensitive to them, he can help students overcome their negative feelings and turn them into positive energy to future their language. Okay, next slide. I will explain the method or technique in community language learning. There is two methods in CCL or community language learning. First is recording student conversation. Recording student conversation means this is a technique used to record students generate language as well as to give the opportunity for community learning to come about. By giving students the choice about what to say and when to say it, students are in a good position to take responsibility for their own learning. And the second is transcription. The transcription is the teacher transcribes the students' record target language conversation. Each student is given the opportunity to translate his or her utterance, and the teacher writes the native language equivalents beneath the target language words. Okay, for the next slide, we will present by Imam Mahfiro. Time is yours.
Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi Mom Nadia, hi friends and everyone. My name is Imam Mahfiro, and I will continue this presentation. Okay, we have explained the method used earlier. Now is the result of the method. The first one is recording student conversation. The result is build communication relationship and eliminate fear in student as he learn a second language. And the last one is transcription. The result is student can write down saying from the conversation they have and can present them. The next is CLL have advantages and disadvantages. I will explain about 3 advantages of CLL. The advantages. The first one is CLL is an attempt to overcome the threatening affective factor in EFL and ESL. The second one is the counselor allow the learners to determine type of conversation to analyze the language inductively. The last one is the student-centered nature of the method can provide extrinsic motivation and capitalize on intrinsic motivation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Azza Rohliatini and I'm from Group 8 and I will tell you about the disadvantage of CLL. The disadvantage of CLL are: first, in order for a student to become independent, teacher might neglect the need for guidance. And second, teacher has to be highly proficient in the target language and in the language of student. And third, translation is an intricate and difficult task. The success of this method relies largely on the counselor translation. And now, we move to the conclusion of CLL material. The conclusion of this material are: this approach can help future teachers develop their student oral communication skills. It can help promote confidence and security in the classroom environment, in everyday use, and when traveling abroad. CLL is a new way of encouraging students to speak more and to get involved in their classroom activities. Learning to communicate by communicating rather than by preparing to do so through practicing the various pieces of language is a different way to approach the goals of developing the student's communicative competence. The participants of the teacher are needed by the student to get the problem solving for their learning, mainly for handle their problem in their daily life. It indicates that unlike the method in learning language, CLL approach became successful and thanks to contribution on learners' motivation, they became much more active, creative, effective, and competent in terms of fluency and accuracy. Through changing all the four skills for learning process. However, in CLL, true communication is the main concern to achieve the prospective goals of this approach. I think it's enough the explanation from Group 8 about the CLL. So thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.